Welcome back, guys. We're at it again. Yes, that's right. I have changed the podcast name yet again. Third time is a charm. Talking Taboo with Tara. I'm going to be talking with people that are telling their stories that are unfiltered. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed today's podcast.
The following is an adult podcast in which we discuss how we can better achieve emotional and sexual health and make the bedroom your favorite room in your home. This is a Sexy Blunt Girls podcast. Now here's your host, Miss J.
What's going on, listeners? I brought Tammy back, and we are going to discuss today on how to leave a toxic relationship. Hi, Tammy.
Hi. It's so
How
good
are
to
you,
be
beautiful?
with you again. I'm so good. I'm so good. It's so good to be with you again. Thank you.
I'm so glad you're able to come back with us.
Yes, absolutely. It's my pleasure and honor. Thank you.
No problem. So, I know many of us have been in toxic relationships before. I think a lot of people have been in toxic relationships, but how would you go about leaving one?
Well,
Especially
first
with-
you have to figure out how to build a social support and a safety net. You've got to make a plan. It's hard to leave without having a backup plan, without having something to stand on. So if you've got someone that you can go to, if you've got like a safe house, you can look up, there's resources in every town pretty much. I mean, they're all over the place of, how to help women that are in a violent or toxic situation that they feel unsafe in and they want to get away from. So look it up and see, what the local information is, but make sure that you have a safety net, make a plan. And then secondly, I would explore ways to become more independent. Maybe go back to school, get a new job, maybe some training. Number three, I would lean on some family, friends. Make sure that you have someone to be there by your side when you are leaving. There should be no more secrets. Let it out. Let people know what's going on. That's the hardest thing to do when you're in a really scary relationship that you don't feel safe leaving, is being honest about it. You learn to shut your mouth. Because if you speak up, you end up getting even more abused the next time. It gets worse. So you've got to step out and let people know what's actually going on so that they can be there to support you as you are leaving. And then you can get some help from some professionals, whether it be a police officer or a therapist or an attorney. But you need to get some help. And then make sure immediately cut off contact from that person. Don't let them emotionally blackmail you into coming back. Get away. Just cut it off. Like an umbilical cord, just cut it, okay? And then start caring for yourself as you transition. Make sure that you indulge in those pleasures that you've denied yourself for so long. Get back into your hobbies, your loves, your pet projects. Taking those little trips, wherever they may be, doing some self-care, and don't rush that process of healing. But the reason why people stay in relationships and toxic relationships for so long is just simply really, it comes from a place of fear of being manipulated and controlled, that violence that follows. A lot of times there's children involved, and, what's the negative impact of that? The custody, the care, all of the responsibility that comes with children. Sometimes it's just because you really love that person, and you just keep hoping that they'll change if you love them enough, so you feel responsible somehow. You've got to allow yourself to recognize that if that person is not willing to change for you because they see that you're miserable in the relationship, then second guess how much you actually love yourself. Do you need to get back into a space where you are safe enough to take care of yourself for a while and get yourself back into.
Okay, let's back up a little bit because we're jumping a little bit forward. But when someone is in an unsecure relationship, they're first thing is fear. They're scared.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what to do, who to talk to, or how to get out of the situation.
Yeah.
First and foremost, there are steps that you do take and that you need to take. For one, start planning. Start planning your get out. Start putting money up. Start getting furniture packed away and put up for when you are ready to move.
Do what you can.
Yeah, do what you can, because in some relationships you only get to leave with the clothes on your back.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
So basically, get a support team. If you can't get a support team, go somewhere and get help from someone. There's plenty of shelters. There's plenty of abuse organizations out there that you can call in your county, in your town, and get help. There are battered, abused women shelters. There's homeless shelters, which I know you don't want to go to, but sometimes to get out of the situation that you're in, you have to do what you have to do.
I did it. I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Yeah.
That's right. You just have to have the want and the will to get up and get out.
Yeah.
Not only being scared, but you have to want it.
I was homeless for 4.5 years. I lived in several shelters. I know what it's like.
It's not easy.
No, it's not.
I did a little couch surfing myself, so I have a little bit. Yeah, and lived in motels myself. So, yeah, I know what it's like to be homeless.
Yeah, to live from day to day, paycheck to paycheck, never knowing what life's going to throw at you and how it's going to knock you off your feet. It can be really scary living in times like that. So, now more than ever, we need one another. Our social connections are so fractured and broken. And it's our responsibility to start creating those bonds again and being transparent and open with one another. It's okay to be authentic. When people reject you, they're just showing you who they are. They're rejecting some part of themselves. So we can show them compassion and extend them some grace. And you can move on to someone else who does accept you and sees you for who you are and is able to build you up, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the most important thing, is to make a plan, get it together, and get out.
Yeah.
And then move forward with your self-care and maybe seeing a psychiatrist or a therapist to get on the right track. There's so many. The government will help you with so many things.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Resources are out there. You just got to get out there and ask for help.
Yeah, you have to find them. They're not going to find you. You have to actually ask for the help to get the help.
Yeah, and one place will lead to another, You'll get there, but you've got to step out.
That's right. It will snowball. Once you start getting help, it will snowball downhill of getting you food and shelter and, clothes on your back and, eventually a vehicle. I mean, the resources are out there. We really, really need to start helping women and men, because there's men that in abusive relationships as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They get more of the bitching and the nagging and all that stuff, but they get some women get physical with their men, and their men won't get physical back, and then they're in a battered relationship.
Yeah.
So
one of my exes was severely abused by his mother, and he recreated that abuse in his relationship. He was so stuck in it, he didn't know how to break himself free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I tried to show him something different, but he couldn't see it for what it was.
Right. Well, when you've seen something for so much of your life, then you start believing it. You start thinking it's true.
Yeah.
And which is sad. It's not. I mean, a lot of people are raised certain ways, and they tend to take that to the next generation, which they shouldn't. I broke the chain with my parents, so I definitely know. Abuse is in many forms, mentally, physical. I mean, there's just so many things of abuse. It's not funny.
Yes.
And you got to look for the signs.
They've proven over and over that mental and emotional abuse is far more damaging to the psyche than physical abuse.
Yeah. You're mentally tearing down someone.
Yeah. And causing them to be completely dependent on you, controlling them through a sense of shame, codependency. Those are all reasons why people stay in toxic relationships, and it can be hard to see a way out, especially if it's been long term. If you were raised in it, or you've been in the relationship for a long time, you might even think that you're the problem. Questioning reality.
Right, but also love is blind. Love is blind. You feel that you love that person, and you think that person loves you, and they really don't. Either they're using you, or they're mentally or physically, emotionally abusing you in one shape, way, or form. Right.
Yeah. A common problem that we see nowadays is narcissism, which is just an overblown sense of self-importance, and they have a lack of empathy. So they play the victim to keep you from leaving.
Yes.
And that really just stems from a fear of abandonment.
Yes, and that comes from their childhood, from their parents.
Exactly.
So, like I said, if you're getting help, or if you're a child and you're growing up in this, it all snowballs, because as a child, you take it to your relationships. You grow up and then you think that this is the way it's supposed to be. That's the way you're supposed to treat people. And really, it's not. That's the only way that you've been treated. So that's the only way you know how.
Exactly. So, I think that if we could return back to, breaking free from codependent relationships, which is what I've struggled with my whole life. I can only speak from experience. So in my stage of life right now, it's me, myself, and I. Even though I live in constant service to others, I am learning how to relax into a state of self-care where I'm caring for myself while I care for others. And so that means, allowing myself long baths, getting massages, reading a good book, having a nice meal,
Going and get your nails done. Like you said today, you're like, I'm doing my self-care, girl. I'm getting my nails done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went into nature. I stopped and stared at a brook for a while that was rippling, and it snowed, and it was just so beautiful. And I was just mesmerized by this calm, tranquil slice of nature I was able to discover on my walk today. And people were blowing their horn at me, and I'm just like in this total state of meditation. It was so awesome.
That's great.
But you got to dedicate time to unwind and do stuff that you enjoy doing, Absolutely. And I love being in nature, so that's my thing, but I'm all about physical pampering and mindful relaxation. I'm all about doing my arts, my music, dancing, going to see a movie, a museum, maybe the art museum. Some of them are free. Those are so fun. It doesn't have to cost anything. It can be free. It can be low cost. It can, but it has to be something that brings you joy, spend some quality time alone, get to know yourself again, take walks by yourself, take yourself for a picnic in the park, go to a concert by yourself. It's okay to go out by yourself. There's no shame in this, y'all.
And I just learned this because actually and truly, I was in a relationship with a narcissist, and you're right, they have no empathy. And it took me so long to get over him because I felt bad.
Yeah.
I felt like I still needed to be there to take care of him. I still needed to be there to do all the things I used to do, but knowing I shouldn't do them. Yeah. A narcissist will brainwash you and make you think that you're the one wrong when you're not wrong.
Exactly.
They make you think that you're losing your mind when you're not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. They do. I can't count the times I sat down on a sidewalk or in the middle of a street and literally beat my head because he was driving me mentally insane.
Yeah, they will do that.
He was like, look at you. You're proving to everyone that you're mentally insane. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You are, but I couldn't, I just couldn't show him. So it took me recognizing that I was worthy of love. It's up to me to love myself. If I cannot give it to me, then I cannot expect it from anyone else. And the moment I recognized that it was up to me, I was able to walk from him, away from him, and not look back. And
Isn't that
now,
empowering?
oh my goodness, yes. My
When you
whole life
finally
is
get the confidence
shifting.
and the know-how and the
Oh,
knowledge and you finally let go, doesn't it
yeah,
feel empowering?
it's incredible.
Feels
It's
like you got
incredible.
yourself back again, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. And I enjoy being alone. I enjoy being in my own presence. I'll talk out loud and have a whole full-blown conversation with
Yeah,
myself, and I crack
I
myself
will do
up.
too. I used to always be myself, but be by myself. I never was in real
Yeah,
long relationships when I was young. So when
yeah,
I did get in a long relationship, they never panned out because they wasn't the person I was supposed to be with in the beginning. And
yeah.
I knew it, but everybody wants love. Everybody wants that
Of course.
that feeling of being secure and knowing that you have someone to come home to.
That right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've come home. Like I'm looking at my apartment right now, and to me, this is home. It's so cozy and lovely, and
Right.
it exemplifies me in a physical way. It kind of, I'm expressing myself outwardly, and I have delighted bringing this place together. Like the way that it is right now it's maybe a 3 or 4 year process, but it has been so much fun. It's a work of art of its own,
Right.
but it's been fun watching it come together because so much of it has been given to me just randomly,
Right. And that's how you make a home.
Yeah, it's like, wow, it shows me how other people see me. It shows me what I have been showing to the world. So I'm like, oh, this is, well, I don't know. It's just fascinating. It's fascinating getting to know yourself all over again,
It is.
outside
It's
of
a journey.
someone,
It's definitely a journey to
Yeah,
finding
it
yourself
is.
again. When you get
Yeah.
out of a toxic relationship, when you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
find yourself, it is hard. It took me
Mm-hmm.
forever, but I am just now, after I'd say 2 years now, I'm just now starting to find myself again. Like knowing all the things that I like to do, not what they like to do, but what I like to do.
Yeah.
And I'm getting back to my greenhouse. I love growing things. I love life and watching them grow and bloom and all that good stuff. So I've really gotten back to myself as well. When you leave a toxic relationship, you really learn a lot from that if you get all the information that you take with you from that bad relationship and take it to the next relationship and learn from your mistakes and learn from the red flags that you see that pop up that you ignore, but you know they're there, but you continue to ignore them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you have to get yourself together and move on. You have to find yourself, because if you don't, you're going to be stuck in the past. And I don't want that. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't want to. I've known people that were stuck in the past, and that's not what I want. I want the future. I want that love of my life. I want that dream house. I want that dream car. And I want all these things, and I'm going to get them. They're going to come.
Yeah.
It just takes time.
Absolutely. When dealing with the past, it's usually about a situation that we truly and honestly need to release.
Yeah.
So when we can release that, then we're able to enter the present moment and face the obstacle that's actually in the moment right now, and then embody who we are authentically, and that affects the future in a positive way. And in the future, we will receive the guidance that we need in order to take the action that's necessary for that moment.
And that's crazy that you say that, because it was when I was broken up with him and that I started seeing clarity and started seeing and hearing everything around me. And that's when I started to follow my gut and starting a podcast.
Knowing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Above all, to thine own self be true, right?
Correct.
Well, how can you be true to yourself if you don't even know yourself?
That's right. And if you don't love yourself, how can you love somebody else?
Exactly. And so in moving forward, I think if we could focus less on futile arguments and focus more on how we treat others and ourselves, we really would be just okay.
And be more open-minded, not so judgmental. So many
Right.
people judge when you live in a glass house. You know, you want to throw rocks at a glass house, but man, so many people could throw rocks at your glass house too. I know there's a metaphor in there and I'm not getting it right, but you don't throw stones at a glass house when you live in a glass house yourself. Something like that.
Right. Well, it all boils down to the golden rule. If you look at the one common denominator across churches, religions, the government, every single thing that you can find where there's an authoritarian figure or whatever status structure, the golden rule is a singular common denominator across the board. That's the one thing that they actually all have in common. So if we could focus on promoting, ethical behavior like honesty and compassion.
Yeah.
If we started upholding, basic human rights and protecting the vulnerable populations, if we started working together to address the social issues, maintaining social harmony and preventing conflict, we would be able to focus more on spiritual guidance of the inner self and less on all of the boundaries that we've got to set up in order to be safe in this world.
Correct.
Does that make sense? We wouldn't need so many fucking laws if we would just be nice to one another.
Correct. Yeah.
Common courtesy goes a long ways, y'all.
It does. But communication also goes a long way in a relationship. When you have a man that doesn't want to communicate or it's hard for them to communicate, it gets hard to keep building on that relationship if they won't express themselves.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
When you have a man that has these walls built up or is just hard to express themselves, you have to tear those walls down and figure out how to let them express themselves also.
Yes.
So there's some men out there that don't express their love or don't say they love you, but they show it. So you got the ones that say it, but then you got the ones that show it but don't say it.
And my dad is like that. Like, he's very, stoic. He was in the Navy for 12 years and then a pastor for a minister in the church for a long time, like forever, and still is. And he's a very stoic guy. He doesn't show his emotion. He doesn't really show that he's happy or sad or, I think I could count maybe 4 or 5 times that I've seen my dad cry in my entire life. So, the first time I saw him cry, it just shook my world. Like, I was like, are you?
Right. But, I totally get what you're saying because I didn't see my dad cry until my mother passed away. I'd never seen him cry. Never. I think that's just a man thing.
It might be, it's got to be all tough and masculine, but I know I'm his girl.
Right.
I know I am. He treats me special, and he every time he will come out of his way, like to take me out to dinner and to treat me well. Aww. And I love that about him. I know, right? So right. I see what you're saying. Like, some people show it through action and not through their words.
Correct.
So, and I actually have more respect for that
than I do of you telling me you love me and your actions show that you don't. Yeah. And I've had that.
All right things and doesn't do anything.
Right.
No.
Right.
No.
I think that goes under the how do you say it? Manipulation?
Yes. Okay, that happened to me last week.
Sexual manipulation.
I ran into a longtime friend of mine, and it was so lovely. We had the most amazing conversation. And then he let me know that he had always been into me. And I was like, what? I've always been into you. What? So right. We exchanged phone numbers and he invited me out on a
That's awesome.
date, and then we started texting. He was telling me that he had always seen me as a queen, and that he would love to pamper me and, you know, massage my feet. He has a foot fetish, and I was like, "What? Where
Right.
did you come from?" You know, and I'm like getting all excited, and then date night comes, and he stands me up, girl.
What?
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't understand that. If you have the audacity to ask me out, then you better have the balls to show up.
And you better have the balls to give me an explanation why when I happen to run into your ass again.
Oh, that too, yeah. See, I hate when people
it better be
ghost
something
me.
like, "Oh, I got locked up in jail," or
Right.
"I lost my phone and I lost your number and I don't know what room number you keep coming by knocking on." He doesn't even know where I live, so it's not like he can, you know,
Yeah, it's not like he can find
get a
you.
hold of me.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm trying to be kind
Right.
and give him the benefit of the doubt. But I
But
can't
don't forget to
stand it
follow your gut. Yeah.
right. It has happened so many times, and I really don't understand why people would do that to one another. You would never want someone to do that to you.
Right.
You know, it goes back to that 10 golden rule again.
Right. But some people don't care about other people's feelings, and that's sad. And they ghost people, and they don't talk to them, or they'll sleep with them, and then the girl gets wrapped up in her feelings, and the guy don't have any feelings. He was just looking for a nut. Yeah. Feelings get brought in when you're having sex and you're emotionally attached to someone. Yeah. Feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
When you ghost
for sure.
someone. Yeah. Even if you just met them and, "Oh, I'll call you." And you call them a couple of times, and then all of a sudden you stop talking to them. They're like, "Well, what happened?"
Yeah.
Well, I know it's difficult for me to say, but I just don't think that we're going to work out. How hard is that?
Right?
I mean, it's that easy. I just don't see us working out. I don't see us going anywhere, or I don't think we're a good fit. Something other than nothing.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, something is
Be
better than
honest with
nothing.
me. I love honesty. I get a joy out of honesty, even if it's not necessarily what I would have wanted to hear. I respect you telling me. Just be honest with me.
Yeah.
I'm honest with you. I'm vulnerable with you. How can I trust you if you're not honest with me?
Right.
You know?
And that's where men fuck up.
You gotta have trust to have a relationship. I mean, like, that's the bottom rock.
That's the bottom line. Like,
of
any relationship is trust.
Yeah.
If I can't trust you, there's no relationship. There is no relationship.
And once it's broken,
it's hard to get it back. It's really hard to get it back. If you do get it back.
If you do. I mean, like, if you do, seriously.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what? Like, do we continue holding on to the relationship knowing that we've already fucked it up? And we won't allow ourselves to move on because we feel so...
I've done it. I've done it. I knew after 2 years of the relationship, I knew I should let him go. I still kept him. I don't know why. I have no idea. Stupidity? I don't know. I still to this day don't know why. I still let that motherfucker keep coming back. And that person would say that to me. "Well, why do you keep letting me come back?" I don't know. I feel sorry for you, is what I told him.
Sorry for him.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you. And I have a heart. I have a kind heart. And you take advantage of it. That's what I told him. I was like, you take advantage of me. You use me, and then when you don't need me, you throw me away. I'm good. I don't need that.
You're allowing him to take advantage of you. You know that he's doing it. Yeah.
Right. But I allow
it.
So
why are you continuing to blame him?
Because I think that it's not my fault. I think it's his. But really, in all reality, it is my fault for letting him come back. But I did break the chain. I have to admit, I did break the chain.
Yeah.
It took a long time, though, because he's a narcissist. He had my brain so washed up. Like, I thought I was fucking crazy there for a while.
Yeah.
I thought I was crazy when I knew that he was cheating and he was doing the shit he shouldn't have been doing. I felt it and I knew it, but yet I didn't do nothing about it. And that's my fault.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone to blame but myself. It's stupidity. We want someone to love us. Even though we know they don't love us. we still want that comfort of that person being next to us, I guess. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. I'm not going to lie. I'm still working on myself. I'm still trying to find myself. After
honey,
2
we're all
years
in
of
the
not being in a
process.
relationship.
We're processing till the day we die, girl.
You know what? That is so freaking true. Because I've even talked to some 80-year-old women, and she's like, I learn stuff every day. I'm like, yeah, I see.
I want to learn something every day. Please let me learn something every day.
Yeah.
I love expanding myself.
Life is a learning lesson. I mean, bottom line. Life is nothing but a learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
And you get what you put into it.
Yeah.
If you don't put nothing into it, you don't get nothing back.
Exactly.
Just like a relationship. If you put everything into it, and even if you do put everything into it, sometimes you don't get shit back. And that's because you're with the wrong person.
Exactly. Because love definitely has a sense of flow to it, and it doesn't hurt. No.
Love should not hurt.
It flows.
You should not have me crying. You should not have me up worried. Yeah. No. You should not be having me freaking out, wondering where the hell you're at because you're not home in bed with me. Yeah.
Exactly. No, there are ways to get a hold of you. Yeah. Right. There are ways.
And then there's also, you find these people and you don't find out the truth about them until you've been with them or even lived with them, that you find out that they're an addict. You never even knew they were an addict, and you've been with them for a while, and then you find all these secrets out about them because they've hid them so well. Narcissists are so good at hiding secrets. It's not funny.
Uh-huh. That's why you gotta be careful.
That, or we're just so blind we don't want to see it. I mean, it's one or the other. I mean,
is it because we want to be loved so badly?
Yes, I think it is. I think that we just want love so fucking bad that we'll do whatever it takes.
I agree.
I'm done with that. I will be alone. Too. I will be loveless if I have to be. I will no longer give someone my energy, my time, my love.
I will never be loveless because I love myself, and God is inside of me, and God is love. So I will never be loveless.
Okay, I meant with a man. I will never be loveless either because I have 2 children. But
you know what? I love these freaking tribes that are out here where it's just nothing but women.
You know what? That's another thing.
The things they do are incredible.
Yeah, that's woman power right there, boy.
Yeah.
When you can stick up and stand up for another woman and be like, hell yeah, that's my girl.
Yeah, we're powerful.
That's women power. Yeah, that's women power.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have for this show today. I want to thank you so much for coming on again. I greatly appreciate you.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I get a lot of enjoyment out of talking with you because you're so joyful. You're so happy. You're so full of life.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for saying that. That means a lot to me.
You're welcome, baby. And I just want you to know that. I greatly appreciate it. All right, sexy girls. Don't forget to stay sexy, stay confident.
Thanks for listening to the Sexy Blunt Girls podcast. Please subscribe to us on your favorite platform so you can be notified when all of our new episodes drop. You can also find out more about our podcast at sexybluntgirls.com. The content on this show should not be taken as medical advice and is presented for informational and entertainment purposes only. Because each person is so unique, please consult your healthcare professional for any medical questions.